Hey everybody, I just wanted to make this video. I've been working a lot on updating configurations on my system, trying to make things as easy as possible for everybody. So one of the things that let me just see if I can get more of the machine for you. One of the things that I've added to the system, sorry, I got something in my throat. One of the things I've added to the system is the ability to play light gun games. I've removed some other stuff. I consolidated controllers. So for the most part, I think on a PC I only need eight USB ports, and I'm able to get everything in there and still have two light guns, because light guns themselves, two light guns will take up 3 USB ports. So the USB controller, I used to have a zero delay USB controller. I've now merged all that other stuff into the plunger board, which I have in another video that I can show you folks. So mainly I wanted to go through and show you what I've done on the software side to make things as easy as possible to get from the pinball machine, which is your play field here and your back glass there, into the arcade system, which you're going to be playing up here. So basically what you have to do is you have to change your main display from the playfield. You have to change your main display to the back glass. So I've got everything set up, and I'm going to show you. I've got my keyboard off to the side because I'm going to show you that I'm able to do everything without touching the keyboard at all. You can still use the keyboard and mouse in case, because I have to work through stuff, see if there's any bugs, in case you break the cycle somehow, which I don't think you can. I think I've got it pretty set up. I've got it fairly foolproof, whether or not you have the guns plugged in or whether you don't have them plugged in. I've got the joy to key profiles lined up that way, so it's going to work regardless. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually reboot the system so I can show you that it's starting from scratch. It's going to, well, let's just do that now while I'm talking. So we're going to do a restart and we're going to hit enter. So the computer is going to reboot. This is obviously the same as if I'm just starting it from scratch, turning it on for the first time. What did I want to tell you? Yeah, so basically there was a whole bunch of scripts that I had to add to the system, basically to say, start these programs when PinballX runs, start these programs when PinballX closes, when no programs are running, make sure these programs are running in the backwards so that it can take control keys just from the system without PinballX or Hyperspin running, and then allow you to switch between the different monitor profiles. So I believe I've got this all set up hands-free. So that's what this first video is going to be, just showing you that I can work through all the different systems. And then I'm going to show you another video that actually kind of just shows the light guns in action. Okay, so now we're actually in Hyperspin, which I will show you. Sorry, not Hyperspin, we're in PinballX, which is the front end. So you can see I can flip through the games. How would I just even load a game? Yeah, that button. So I'm going to load an FX2 table. Specifically, some people who run TechnoParrot may have issues with Pinball FX2 or some other games. So if you have any pirated software anywhere on your system, TechnoParrot looks at that. Basically Steam, if you've got an offline, it doesn't even have to be pirated, if you've got an offline hack, let's call it, TechnoParrot looks for that, and then basically TechnoParrot doesn't work. So one of the scripts that I have running here is when I want to load a Pinball FX game, it's going to rename some files to make sure everything works so that we can see that Pinball FX works. I'm going to show you here. I'm going to launch the ball. Click is working and everything else. And then we're going to close this table. And then when we back out of PinballX, when we walk back out of the front end, and then we open up Hyperspin, I've got a script running there to rename your Steam offline files to just random gibberish type of thing so that they can't see that they're there, and then TechnoParrot runs. And then when you close Hyperspin, it goes back and it renames your gibberish back into Steam offline cabinet file again. So we are going to exit. I believe you can press Alt F4 on the keyboard, but if you're pressing Alt F4 on the keyboard, then what's the point of doing all this? So this is mainly if you want to do a keyboardless operation. So we're going to hit exit. We're going to see that PinballX closes. And what we're hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to do is I'm going to be able to now switch the monitor profile, and we're going to see the screens flash, and all my stuff that's on my desktop is going to move up to the play field. So I'm just going to hit the right flipper button, and hopefully this works. It does. Look at that. Perfect. So no keyboard, because the keyboard's over here. I've now changed, so first button I hit was to change my monitor profile so that everything runs on this screen. And then my second key, Hyperspin, I'm going to press that button. Again, fingers crossed. That script just started running, so I'm hoping, Hyperspin, boom. So believe it or not, getting all this to work, this is 2 or 3 days worth of scripting and stuff. But now we can see I am flipping through this system. And do I have my guns plugged in? Yes. So just for fun, let's go into, actually let's load up the Technofair game, because that's the one that would have issues. And one specifically I know that has issues would be Aliens Extermination. So if my file renaming script works perfectly, then Aliens Extermination is actually going to boot up and load instead of giving you an error saying, hey, you've got offline installers installed. And then just to ensure that everything works, then we're going to back out of this again. We're going to go back into PinballX, the front end, and I'm going to load up a VPX game just to see that everything's working. There we go. So we are into Technofair. The error would have already happened, so we don't have to wait for this. We're going to back out, and then we're going to back out of Hyperspin. Back button. Do you want to exit? We're going to hit yes, and then enter. Perfect. So there's a little flash of a script running, which again opened up another Joy to Key profile, which should allow me to hit my left flipper. Perfect. Now I'm back on the play field as my main, and then I'm going to hit the key. And this is the last piece of the puzzle. Hopefully PinballX, it does. Look at that. So finally, 2 days later, I've got all this scripting to work. All right, let's load the Simpsons, sure. So I will be able to know if the Joy to Key profile is actually set up properly, if I'm able to pause the game and unpause the game direct from the buttons. So I've got this button to pause, and it worked, and then my apron button, unpause. Perfect. So there we go. That's 8 minutes of video, and that, like I said, literally, that was 3 days of figuring out very, very simple coding. It's just, I didn't know how to do a lot of it, and I had to look into it and stuff. But that should please my customer. He had requested as much as possible. He wanted a keyboardless operation, which generally is fine, but then once you add in the guns, well, now it's a whole different system because we need to be able to close an emulator. We need, or a front end. We need to open up a whole nother front end. We need to open up a whole nother Joy to Key profile. And all of that stuff had to be happening just with buttons on the pinball machine. So that is done. I'm going to make another video just to kind of show you, like, why would you want to put light guns on a pinball machine? And I'll kind of go through my explanation as to why you might not. Yeah, thanks for watching.